Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a good week this week. It was, nice weather, sure. No water. I'm just going to stick with, you know what, I should probably just quit talking about it. Maybe I'm the reason why. I get accused of a lot of things. I've ruined fisheries and but I can promise you I can't make rain happen. It's just one of those things. It's a year that it's just been weird. We've been talking about water here for the last couple of months. Primarily was initially about duck hunting, and you heard me whining about that. Now the river levels are just trickles, right? This week, though, I've got a new drift boat, and I just had to get out, right? And we had, I was about to say we had a little bit of water. Well, that's not true. Just basically had to go out, go ahead and put the scratches in the bottom of the boat and just get it over with. And that did happen, but it was a successful week. The boat right now is 4 for 7, I want to say. 5 for 7. Anyway, we caught some fish. Now, my buddy Moose is the first person to put blood in the boat, so congrats to him. Got himself a beautiful keeper this week out of the boat. But a couple of wilds, and I actually got one too, which was kind of surprising since my track record so far for chasing steelhead hasn't been great. I'm running out of excuses, but I did get one. But let's go ahead and show you a couple photos. Nothing too great. You got to have the shot of actually being in there. It's been a couple of years since I've had a chance to get behind the sticks. Now, this particular day, very, very low water. The boat's a 1760. I got a few questions about that already. It is, at least for me, the perfect size boat. It's a little big, especially if you're used to, like myself, my last boat, and then the majority of boats that I've been in the past were 1654s or something similar. But definitely not the, if you remember when we were in Alaska a handful of years ago, running that 1872, which was just a monster. So it's kind of like the perfect medium. And I absolutely love those edge oars. They're so light in the way that they float. And again, with those particular blades on there made for shallow water situations, it did seem to help. Getting used to them a little bit. And I can tell you, getting old, you start getting... Yeah, I took a couple days off after 2 or 3 days of rowing. Trust me, when you get old, everyone, that happens, and I'm sure some of you are well aware of that. But I did actually get one, and we've been talking a lot about fishing plugs, right? Now, the only opportunity that I had up to this point was a lost fish, so and that was on that particular day. I lost one earlier, and I was not very happy. Got to the very last area that I was going to be able to fish because, again, half of the sections that I was in didn't have enough water to fish anyway. But when he finally found a decent location, I threw the plug out. Now, admittingly, I was still trying to get to a different location. I wasn't necessarily focused on, back trolling. I was just kind of covering from one side of the river to the other and pulling that plug out of some deep water into a shallow flat with not a lot of current. Again, very low water conditions. And just watching that rod explode is one of the favorite things that any of us have when you're talking about pulling plugs for steelhead. Not a big fish. It was a 6 or 7 pounder. But it took that 3.5, that's the Dr. Death, go figure, one of the most popular patterns for the 3.5 mag lips, or the 3.0 for that, or for any of them, that Dr. Death pattern, but just destroyed it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. That's all, at least I can say. Finally got a little blood in the boat for myself. But that's kind of the thing right now with that low clear water condition. Pulling plugs has been very, very effective here in the last couple, 3 weeks. Probably longer, but at the very least, it is something to consider. I know that there's some folks that are just dead set against pulling plugs. Hey, that's fine. Just leave space for the ones that are going to be pulling plugs through there. Please. Just saying. All right, Big River, not a lot of concern with that right now, but you can tell bottom of the tide, it's in the 2s for crying out loud. It's just a great show of just no water in the area. You're going to see the Willamette here, same thing. This is at the falls at Oregon City. Just not a lot of water. Down at the bottom of the tide in the 6s, 5s for that matter. That is just not a lot of water on the Willamette. Does make for some interesting conditions, though, in the right areas to do some plunking, or for even those folks that want to get out and drop the hook someplace. I'm not going to say too much. My home river, just low. My blades, it just seems like every time I was pulling, it was hot, and it just I can't wait until I can make a full float with the new boat and not have to bang the rocks halfway through. Same thing all the way up and down the coast. Rivers are very, very low, very, very clear, and the fishing has been very tough. I was this past week on Monday, Tuesday, there was that little bit of a bounce along the coast. Would have expected to hear a little bit better fishing. It didn't seem like it really materialized, but there were some fish to be had, of course. It is that time of year, but nothing that you can see towards the latter part of the week when we do have a little bit of moisture coming in. We'll find out from Peyton here in a minute what that's going to be like, but nothing is really forecasted yet to change any of these rivers. A lot of this moisture is going to come down as snow, and when it does that, obviously it doesn't get into the rivers. We'll see. Again, we're just going to be in this pattern for quite a while. It can be frustrating, obviously. Don't forget, though, if you want to win yourself some free stuff, I say this every Saturday and Sunday morning. We truly appreciate the folks over at Procure putting on this giveaway. We need more of our sponsors to do that, by the way. But you can send Jason an email at procure.com, and you'll be entered in to win. You do need to do it each week, and he will let you know Monday morning if you are, via email, if you are the winner of that weekly prize pack. And what scent did I have on? Oh, I had the steelhead combo on that plug when I got bit this week. Hey, at least I got one. I had a shot at another. It was a monster. The big ones that get away, or the ones that get away, those were always the big ones. Anyway, let's go ahead and check in with Peyton, find out what the weather. Any fish for you this week, Peyton?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I know. But a little busy, the Weather Center, just, with hit or miss snow events. I'm sure you've heard.
And it looks like we've got some snow maybe coming in the end of the week.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Okay, so this is actually a viewer photo from this morning. We had a little dusting in Gresham. I'd say, in general, if you're above 500 feet, you might have woken up with just a little wet snow on the ground. This is in Clark County, Washington. And so we had a little wintry mix pretty much right before sunrise. Maybe you saw some of the snowflakes falling time to time. And right now it's pretty much dry. So that's going to be our trend for today. Really, really light showers, maybe in the northern coast like Tillamook, Seaside, and also the Cascades are getting some good snow today, about 6 to 10 additional inches if you are headed to Mount Hood, which is great. But do know that I think tomorrow will be the better day because then you don't have to deal with the snow. Partly cloudy if you are headed up to the Mount Hood area. 18 to 25 degrees on Sunday. Now, locally, we're going to stay the same temperature tomorrow, but more sunshine, which I know you don't want to hear. You need more rain. I just don't think we're going to get it, really. And there's a future view right here. I do think this is kind of overdoing what even we're going to see today. I mean, really, really light showers. Maybe you may dodge it a couple times this afternoon, but by the time 7, 8 o'clock rolls around, we're already clearing, and that's going to last into Sunday. So we got high pressure building in for the first half of next week. The interesting thing is right here. This is the trough that's dipping down Thursday. And so we haven't issued a first alert weather day, but what we're really watching with that trough is the location of it. If it happens to be a little bit to the north, we're just going to get cold rain. But if it drops south and kind of centers itself maybe over Astoria, we could maybe see some beneficial snow or freezing rain. So we're going to be closely watching that. Obviously, it is cold enough down into the low 30s Thursday, but we've labeled as a potential first alert weather day, which means if you got Valentine's Day plans, you definitely might want to just check the forecast before you hit the roads.
Advice, and we would love to see some rain, but we can avoid the freezing rain by all means. We could pass on that.
Ice is never fun, Owen.
Yeah, it's not a good one. Yeah. Thank you, Peyton. We appreciate it as always. Okay, let's take Porter's call real quick. He's got a great tip for everyone. Porter, real quickly, what's your tip for everyone when you're talking about the Portland Sportsman Show?
Oh, a couple things hit up real quick is next weekend is free fishing since you're talking about clamming, so it's free clamming next weekend if it's still open. Mm-hmm. And then so the Sportsman Show is that Oregon Fish and Wildlife put out this week a memo that if you have a pioneer's license and you show up at the show, you prove that you have your pioneer's license by the written form or on the phone and an Oregon driver's license, they will admit you one time free to the Sportsman Show, and anyone that's 17 and younger is also free.
That's a very good tip. I was aware of the 17 and under. That's new, I believe. Along with that, I did not know that you could use your Pioneer license to get in for free as well. That's pretty cool that they're doing that.
Yes, it's kind of nice.
It would be. At least I'm not there yet. I'm not too far away, I don't think. Porter, thank you very much. We appreciate the heads up. There you go. There's a way that you can get in to the Portland Sportsman Show that starts on Wednesday. That's right. I'm going to be there Wednesday. I'm going to do some Good Day Oregon work. All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, I've got Dale Murph. He is the owner of the Claminator clam gun and a number of different accessories that I think if you are really into chasing clams around, is a good one. I think this is something that will absolutely make you more effective when you get out there to go after these clams in these openers. We'll be back with that in just a couple minutes.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.
Nobody enjoys the outdoors more than I do. And these are what gets me there. Les Schwab offers a free pre-trip safety inspection. How does this help the average customer that comes in?
We call it our safety status check, and every vehicle that comes into our shop is going to get one.
Big thanks to Les Schwab for your continued support and sponsorship of Outdoor GPS, and I look forward to many years of more adventures on your tires.